Of the abuse allegations against White House Secretary Rob Porter. Joining me now, Kayleigh McEnany, spokesperson for the RNC. And Kayleigh, with a welcome to you. John Kelly, has he been compromised in his position as chief of staff? Should he leave?
Well, John Kelly serves at the discretion of the president, and the president has faith in him. If that should change, I'm sure we'll find out about it. But right now, John Kelly's chief of staff, and the president has confidence and has faith in him, and he's done a very good job in the White House.
All right. I want to play for you what one of Rob Porter's ex-wives told my colleague Savannah Guthrie on the Today Show yesterday. Here it is.
I don't think I realized that I could even call my marriage abusive until about a year in.
When you say abusive, do you mean physically abusive? Do you mean verbally abusive? What was he like as a husband?
For my marriage, I would say it was very strongly verbally and emotionally abusive. A lot of attacks on my character and my intelligence, and things that I felt to be true about myself were systematically and repeatedly attacked, so that it was, an emotional breakdown.
Kayleigh, do you believe Jennifer Willoughby?
My heart goes out to any victim of domestic violence. It's unacceptable. It's inexcusable. And it's important to stand with women. All of these claims have to be vetted. Of course, Rob Porter's denying them. So at this point, it's a dispute better handled for a court of law. But my heart goes out to any victim of that. And we stand with women. Our party does.
What about John Kelly, though? He confirmed the allegations.
Well, John Kelly, within 40 minutes of finding out all the full panoply of facts before him, accepted the resignation of Rob Porter. And the White House was unmistakable that they, too, were standing with women and accepting that resignation and letting the facts play out. And again, they're not an adjudicatory body. They're not an investigatory body. That's better handled for a court of law. But they accepted Rob Porter's resignation.
So the president reportedly was unaware of how serious this situation was until he saw a picture of the black eye that Rob Porter allegedly gave his first ex-wife, that's Colby Holderness. What is the bar, Kayleigh, for whether to believe women coming forward with allegations of abuse? Does physical proof have to exist?
Well, again, it's important to mention the president didn't know about this situation at all, nor did John Kelly. John Kelly said in the fall he was told that there might be a problem with Rob Porter's security clearance. Wasn't until this week, wasn't until Tuesday, he found out about the whole situation. So, again, the president didn't know about this. He found out about this. He let Rob Porter go, and the second White House staffer was let go, too. I think that's a pretty unmistakable message from the White House. What
were your thoughts, though, when you heard about David Sorensen? I mean, like a 1-2 punch. Domestic allegations, he being married twice before as well. Although I will say the first wife cannot corroborate any actions of domestic abuse against her.
Well, the executive branch, of course, hires thousands of employees, so it is inevitable that sometimes you will have someone get through who might not be a good actor. And again, it's important to remind everyone that these men do deny the allegations. A court of law has to figure that out. But what's important is not the hiring decision. The importance is when the facts came to light, what did the White House do? The White House accepted 2 resignations in a very timely manner within 40 minutes in the case of Rob Porter, and immediately with this individual.
I want to play for you the president's reaction to the allegations yesterday. Here it is, Kayleigh.
We certainly wish him well. It's a obviously tough time for him. He did a very good job when he was in the White House. And we hope he has a wonderful career, and hopefully he will have a great career ahead of him. But it was very sad when we heard about it, and certainly he's also very sad. Now, he also, as you probably know, he says he's innocent, and I think you have to remember that.
Can you understand, Kayleigh, why some people are upset at the president? Because he didn't acknowledge the woman or the abuse that they allegedly took. I mean, it's unlike what you did in your response. Does he have an insensitivity for women?
Absolutely not. This is a president that's hired women at record rates. He appreciates women. He's empowered them throughout his administration. And his response is one we've seen from countless individuals in media when these abuses have come to light.
I get that, Kayleigh, but these are women that are saying, my husband beat me and he works for you, and he does not bother to mention them, acknowledge them in any way in his public statement. There seems to be a tone deafness to that.
I think his response was very much like the response of individuals when the Matt Lauer allegations came to light. We heard the Today Show host saying it's hard to reconcile the person that came to work every day with the person that we've heard about through these allegations. Very similar to the president's response that it's hard to reconcile a man who walked into the White House, who had a pristine record from what they saw within the White House, with the man who allegedly committed these atrocities behind the scenes. It's a very difficult thing to take in, and I think that's what the president was speaking to, the human emotion of reconciling allegations with an individual's performance when you don't see those allegations play out before you.
So I guess broadening out this environment, earlier this week when casino mogul Steve Wynn stepped down from his company, the RNC said it's not going to give back his donations because it's still waiting for the investigation to play out. But as you well know, the RNC attacked Democrats for the handling of accusations against Harvey Weinstein. Are the standards different?
Well, first, I want to point out that our chairwoman within 24 hours accepted his resignation. There is a difference between the Weinstein allegations and the Wynn ones. The Wynn ones are being denied in full. The Weinstein ones, not only was there audio evidence, he even admitted to some of them. So there was a clear finding of guilt. We're waiting for a finding of either innocence or guilt. And our chairwoman said if there's a finding of guilt within 24 hours or immediately, rather, she will be the first one to give back that money.
Well, OK, but when it comes to audio evidence, was there not audio evidence of the president's malfeasance and his treatment of women on the Access Hollywood tape?
Absolutely not. That was not an admission of anything. That was locker room talk, as he said, very different than admitted incidents of sexual assault, which is what we saw from Harvey Weinstein. And it's worth mentioning that Hollywood covered for him for a very long time, and the Democratic Party covered for Bill Clinton for a very, very long time with multiple allegations of sexual assault against him.
How about this? Are you comfortable with the tenor of things that have been said and done by this president, just looking at the Access Hollywood tape? I mean, that is irrefutable, despite the fact that he tried to question whether or not it was a legitimate tape.
Those were words. He apologized for those words. I look at the actions of this administration, empowering women throughout the administration, lifting up women economically. Our unemployment numbers are lower than they've ever been. This is a White House that stands with women unmistakably. And I understand that people want to go back to the past and relitigate a campaign issue. But the fact is the American people elected Donald Trump as president of the United States, and his administration has stood for women.
All right. Spokeswoman for the RNC, Kayleigh McEnany. Kayleigh, thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Coming up next, why would the Justice Department express grave concern over the GOP?